Good evening, everyone, please. My name is Shah, and Dr. Mohammad Khaled is joining soon to us here. I'm the head of IT for Emirates College of Technology and CIO Education. We will be discussing about education technologies and the use of AI for education today.
Yes, thanks everyone. My name is Ahmed Nabil. I'm working in Standard Chartered Bank, managing information, cybersecurity, and risk for our MENAP region. Thanks.
Yeah, I think, so Dr. Khalid, I think he went for emergency and we discuss some education technologies related stuff with you and share some information. During this pandemic, what we deployed and what kind of education technologies we bring to use for the students' exam and courses. So I'm handling the operations of AI system in education. We bring a very unique examination systems to means Emirates College of Technology, and as well as they deployed in other universities, colleges as well here. We integrated from the British Council's some education system, where we can recognize the students' identities during the exam, their face and their voice, in case they are planning to replace someone during the exam. So that stuff is no more here. We deployed admission registration technologies as well also. We make the system fully online. It was like before in education, and especially in our institutions, you have to come to the campuses on-prem, fill the form with the hand or fill online form, submit to admission department, then they will review all the document and check everything. May they take 24, 48 hours, depend on the ministry regulation also. And then after that, it will go to registration. Then you have to select your subject and go to the approval side and then start the classes. All this process was taking almost like 1 week, 1 to 2 weeks. But now we make a great integrations with the different AI technologies, which the process taking 24 hours. You will start from today using our platform, can be reached by WhatsApp, can be reached by any our portals, online portal. And then just in WhatsApp, you will say hi, and then AI system will be starting talking to you about the admission registration, the courses, everything, bringing you from one portal to other portals to collect your document and make your admission and registration, and then assign you a professors and then classes by tomorrow. So this is what we did in education with, as I mentioned, that WhatsApp, and we did also the portal procedure also. We make a portal AI where the admission process or the verification of the document process become full automated. Your degree is if from UAE, so it is just in few minutes it will verify. But if you belong from other countries and there is equivalency or some degree verification required, so it will take probably like 24 hours to do the verification there. So this is actually, we did means like integration using AI and using technology for education. There is so many things actually in the platform. Soon we will be sharing that information with you also. If you have any question, we can answer that, please.
Thank you very much for everyone for giving us the opportunity to have the panel discussion today. But I don't want to call it panel discussion. We're going to call it like open discussions. Open discussions more important than having the... Can you hear me from the mic? Yes, okay. Open discussions, I'm going to prefer it rather than to have a panel discussion, because we believe on knowledge sharing, connected minds, connected experience, rather than having solo experience. It's good to have an experience from everyone. It's good to have like a focus on the panel discussion, but everybody more than welcome to interrupt or to add any points they find it suitable from their experience to complement our input. So today I'm very happy to have Mr. Ahmed and Mr. Shah part of this panel. I feel it shame on myself to introduce you because you are more senior than me, but so I'll give you the mic in order to introduce yourself, to tell us about yourself, a little bit background before we started our discussion today.
Thanks a lot. It's my pleasure, actually. So,
Thank you.
my name is Ahmed. I'm working in the financial sector in Standard Chartered Bank, managing information and cybersecurity and risk for the MENAP region.
So you're going to give me $1 million today.
Hopefully. No,
I'll give you my
we
account
take
number.
from we don't give.
It's okay. Sure.
Earlier I mentioned my name is Shah. I'm the head of IT for Emirates College of Technology and CIO Education. We means based in Abu Dhabi.
Everybody looking to the information and cybersecurity as like data protections, people protections, information protections, site protections, a number of protections. But today I was having a discussion with Mr. Shah about what they have done recently from AI implementations, video analytics, data analytics, in order to protect the examination system. I told him I want one IELTS certificate or TOEFL certificate. So can you fake it to me? He told me not anymore. So how are you going to secure it? How are you going to secure this process and these transactions? He told me, no, the AI starts securing it. I told him, my friend, I need a certificate. So there is a regulation now. Everybody should have an IELTS certificate. He said, no, we cannot do anymore. So can you tell us how it's been protected from your side, from the education sector, in order to have like transparency between college, at the same time, the examinations organizations?
Yeah, so we have actually two different sectors for examination. One is the English language department, which is purely integrated with the British Council, IDP, and some other international examination system. And then the second system we using, which is belong to our LMS platform and integrated to the secure exam system, which is totally separate platform as well also. Two different platform and then inter-integrated with each other for verification of certificates, diploma, and degree program. So regarding Dr. Mohammad, he's our senior actually in Abu Dhabi. We meet sometime in different conferences, summit, and have a lot of discussions for different technologies. Examination is before COVID. Yes, there was some legacies, or we can say some possibilities to do or play with the system. But nowadays, there is a lot of senior setting. It is become impossible using of the AI technologies. As I earlier mentioned, if someone will register with us for the IELTS, TOEFL, or any English language program, they have to write first the agreement 1 week before that even they are sitting in the home in the exam or in the center exam or anywhere remotely, even in the car, you can sit there without noise, creating noise. So we should have a full permission to control their system, means their computer, laptop should be under our control, their mic system, the mic headphone they are using, or the camera, we have to control it. So we take a short agreement from them 1 week before that these things will be under control. If you are agree, set for the exam, otherwise refuse because you will be not able to do anything because we are monitoring all the things in the back end. So if some students are agree, yes, we allow them to set for the exam. And the exam day, there is, virtual monitoring nowadays, virtual admin and professors are sitting in UK, in US, in UAE, and we are sitting with them remotely on the dashboard to control their exam system. So we are from IT actually, so we mostly control their IT resources remotely, where the professors, they are controlling their examination dashboard. They can look on the screen of the students where they're typing the exam or the question answer. For us, we are monitoring their IT resources, like if there is any technical problem in mic or camera, we are reporting to the professor. This is not student mistake, actually it's mistake of the system. So because the professor will receive flags, there is 3-4 type of flags highlighting in the dashboard. There is a white flag, yellow flag, green flag, and close the exam flag also. So the students, if they have start something fishy or playing with the exam during, or they arrange someone or someone sitting in front of her to copy the information by signal, by any way, then the system is very smart. The system is looking in their face, and if she will move like this, it's becoming like fishy, and then the flag is coming yellow. and then warnings start from us, from the system itself, from the AI system, to give warning to the students or the
Shah, you remind me about my wife.
Sorry, please?
You remind me about my wife in this way. Give flexibility to them.
Okay. So this was the examination actually, and I will make it very short now. So there is the 3-4 patterns we use for the exam. If red flag, the exam will stop for a few minutes. Only 2 chances there, 1 chance for 10 minutes to give a warning to the students on the dashboard or the screen that you are monitored and there is something going wrong and we will not allow you further in the exam if you will do again this thing. So the student have to stop, and then after 10 minutes the exam will start again. If he or she did again something wrong, like they are using mic or someone giving signals, or many things are there because we are controlling their camera, their laptop, screen is totally locked, and their mic is becoming full echo with us. We can hear even outside the room sometime also. If someone is talking outside the room, we can hear who is there. So if there is third party or someone is coming, interfering with them or helping, the system will lock the exam fully and she need to be dropped from that exam. It is related, I'm talking about the IELTS, TOEFL and English language. We will discuss soon about the next question about the local exam. So it is also very secure and the same pattern we use and we deploy AI technologies there.
Thank you very much, Shah. You remind me here about the one important point or statement that again highlighted. We are not in an era that we have called cybersecurity only or information security, data security, whatever fancy wording. Every 2-3 years they're gonna establish it, all the scientists. We're gonna call it safe digital, because what you have done is like implementing the processes across all the examination system, and you, in each process or stages of the process by itself, you're putting a controls in order to make sure the data flow movement from point A to point B is secure with the proper procedure, technology, in order to make sure that everything is moving safely in secure manner, data protections, integrity and availability of the information. And here the continuous of the point that we're gonna share it to Mr. Ahmed to talk it about it from the financial sector, especially everybody or they have seen reports being issued by many researchers that number of attacks being increased during the pandemic because everything is switched and shifted, rather working with a human, start working with systems. And that huge impact was especially in the education and the banking and financial sector. But that's why our team's delegations today from the education and from the financial sector. So could you please elaborate how being working with the difficult time and challenges where everything's been locked down, goes to the internet publicly with the digital banking, with the accelerations of the digital transformation. It's a challenge on the cyber part.
Yeah, that's true. So if you'd ask me what's the most challenges that happened during 2020 and during the pandemic, it's actually the most important one is that the working from home and managing the people, the employees, and managing the customers and everyone. I believe this affected all of us. It's not just a specific industry, but it was difficult. And the organizations that were not well prepared, suffered a lot. So I've been checking a recent survey mentioning, for example, about the phishing. So as we know that the phishing or the attacks coming from phishing mails are like 90% of the attacks. They are the most attack vector now used everywhere. And this increased, according to this report, by 65% that last year only. It's a pity that people are using the pandemic as a tool for attacking others. So this was one of the main challenges as well, and especially with the remote working, how the people are connecting, how are they able to provide services to our customers and clients. And when you think about, when we are here in digital transformation journey, when you think about the digital transformation and the usage of cloud and all these kind of tools, and when you think about this itself embeds some other security problems, because by going through this journey, mostly you are just integrating and adding more vendors and more third parties inside your ecosystem. And then by adding all these third parties, you are exposing yourself to another set of attack vectors. Of course, we all remember what happened in 2020 and the normal third-party threats. So I think from my point of view, whether it's financial, specific financial or any other industry, I think the remote working from home, educating the users, and third parties and integrating them in your digital transformation journey are the top threats affecting us.
Really appreciated your input. And here we're going to go back, a step back about the safe digital part that I have highlighted in the beginning. Digital transformation, we cannot, everybody is admit that COVID period, it was the acceleration for the digital transformation. Everybody looking to the cyber people, they are the showstopper and they are the barriers to accelerate anything. At the same time, business people, they are having a concept that we need fast-growing business initiatives in order to maximize the return of investment with the minimum, maximize business benefit with the minimum investment. Digital transformation people, they're working in solo, cybersecurity working in solo. And it's not a compliment, it's a fact. Today, I'm gonna say a special thanks to Mr. Ahmed and Mr. Shah from the Emirates College of Technology, Ahmed from the Chartered Bank. I seen their achievement over LinkedIn several times, and Shah in Abu Dhabi, because we are in Abu Dhabi, so we see the development of the ECT there. They are doing very fantastic point. They are working in parallel between digital transformation and the information and cyber security, because the minute they have the concept of the digital or business initiative, the information and cybersecurity consideration in the beginning, in the early stage, rather than cybersecurity became a challenges to the business acceleration or digital accelerations or business initiatives, it became the enabler and supporter to accelerate that. Number two, here I want to highlight my personal experience. Digital transformation entities, what they have done, I'm not talking about your entities on a specific, where I'm going to take it in general. They are taking digital transformation as automations of the process. Automation the process, it's not a digital transformation. Digital, it means I need seamless journey. I want to recall a service before I request it. I don't have to put input of the data or documents to the certain application by myself. I expect from you as an entity or a platform to provide me with this information seamlessly without human interactions. Simple as that. The IT-OT integrations. Everybody, we are looking to keep the OT, operational technology, standalone, and IT as a standalone, because we don't want a headache from ourselves, because we don't want to go for in the engineering part. But pandemic put a mandate to everyone to look seriously to integrate the IT-OT. And my recommendations to start with the engineering part. Don't look to the CISO himself or CDO himself. Come, please, and start the integrations. No, I want the engineering part, because if I want to apply certain policy or certain procedure in the OT network, it's gonna lead to disaster with no recovery, not disaster recovery. We need to be a business resilience rather than thinking as a business continuity. Why I'm talking to have the engineering people in the early stages, because the engineering, they knows the in and out, and the minimum, or let's say the return of investment for any OT infrastructure is minimum 20 years of investment. So if the return of investment coming in 20 years, that means the engineering is very important. We cannot apply password policy. It's like after 3 times fell down, the account will be locked, because if the password locked on OT, that will lead to a lot of disaster on the critical infrastructure, electricity, water, nuclear, a number of these informations, or let's say of the network. So here the question is, or as a closing statement from my side, from myself, before I go to your council, gentlemen, we have to have identified process clearly in the early stages, because my ending process is the beginning process of someone else. And the beginning process in someone else is the ending process of mine as well. So that's why we have to make sure the integration is happening for the successful digital transformation. And based on the delegation of authority on this process, if it's been defined, documented properly, I'm half of the journey on securing the process and digital transformation. And in this way, I'm gonna have continuous data flow. Once I have this continuous data flow, I will be able to build my data lake, my analysis, I do business forecasting, I can do future foresight. In summary, within this statement, I have summarized the need of delegation of authority, needs of the process identification, needs of digital transformation, the integrations between IT and OT. So I leave the mic to you, Shah, to do your closing statement, recommendation based on our conference theme today, and what's your recommendation to our community?
Yeah, so Dr. Mohammad mentioned about the security actually. This is very important. If we're going to move the organization or education institutions to be a digital, to full-fledged deploy the digital transformation, the security is actually the first base important thing. And as education, we're doing actually, all education institutions, they have their security plan. As the Emirates College of Technology, we do have the same as actually we call enterprise security. And our enterprise security plan, we have it like 7 to 8 different projects. And each project means there is some projects are interconnected, because you know that we did a research a lot in market. We couldn't find one supplier or two suppliers to have 6 or 7 security layers available. So based on that, we divide the project also in different interconnected parts, like project 1A and B, then project 1B part, to connect them with the one vendors like this. So security was actually, it is actually very important. It was in our first priority. We keep, when we start, before this pandemic, we were working on digital transformation. But when the pandemic came, we move on, we work day, night, we hire a lot of resources, international resources, local resources, to keep our organizations in market stable and well working. Yes, recently we appreciated by the local authorities, the customers' feedback, that we were having students, actually number of students, 1,500 to 1,000 when before pandemic. Now when the students, even we adopt a lot of technologies, as I mentioned, the AI technology to identify your Emirates ID, your face, your voice, it's not easy to do anything in the back end. And still the number of students increase adopting these technologies. We make them secure, we make them bring them in single platform. Their data is very secure. We appreciate by the authorities, do not bring students information or data as per the regulation outside from the UAE. There is some regulations also. So we did everything and we successfully reached the target. We have some more plan. We have 10-year strategic plan, 5-year for operations with a budget, and the next 5 years is in actually as a virtual platform. We are preparing to be adopted soon. So security, as Dr. Mohammad mentioned, that very important. And I will recommend, yes, to please, if you are going for digital transformation, think before, plan before the security, please.
Thank you very much, Shah. That's what we called it. We need to be business resilience rather than being business continuity. What about you, Mr. Ahmed?
So thanks, Shah. You summarized a lot of things. Just quick pointers. So you mentioned something important about the eternal discussions and battles between technology and security. It's different perspectives. So we tend as security people to focus on the security and the protection. Others, like, for example, technology or business, maybe about availability. So it's different perspectives, and both need to be aligned together. Everyone is now moving digital transformation, depending on technology, depending on the tools. And if there's one thing that we need to check is to ensure that all people involved in this life cycle are fully aware. This starts from the development. This starts from the people administrating these solutions. It starts from the business. You need to understand what's going on. And one point you mentioned about the regulations. There's a lot of regulations now. Take for example, the GDPR. And when you check the list of the fines, I was checking a recent article about the top fines coming out from GDPR, and it's enormous, millions and billions of dollars in fines about data leaked and because the dependency about these kind of security and privacy systems. So we need to ensure everyone is aware of his role. We are implanting this for everyone across the whole chain. And as you mentioned, we are just an enabler. We are not just trying to block projects. Yeah, exactly. We're an enabler of business to ensure, I would like to say it like this, to securely go into digital transformation journey.
Sorry, before we closing, I know they are struggling and they want me to close the session today, but I have very interested questions. Do you recommend to keep the cyber or the information security as part of the IT or standalone from the IT? I want to hear it from both of you, from IT perspective and security perspective.
Again, please, pardon?
What's your recommendation? Shall we keep the information and cybersecurity as part of IT or spin out from the IT?
As per the current regulations...
And by the way, this is a question for everyone in this room.
Okay. So I will answer just shortly. As per the regulation, I think cybersecurity should be dedicated, and we should have regulation policies, need to work on it. It will help us a lot. We did the practice, actually. I think someone was here on the stage earlier before, was talking about health authorities and health system. So we did work on that one. We have actually going recently to start new program, Schools of Health Sciences. And we're working with the health authorities very nearly to use the cybersecurity requirement. Before going to deploy any courses or clinic practice, cybersecurity need to be adopted first to go for the licensing part. So, we found it there that they have a nice cybersecurity program, and which is totally dedicated or separate from the IT operation and this thing side. IT operation surely there, but they request to have a dedicated team and separate operations officers for that area.
What about you, Mr. Ahmed? Are you with or against? I would say there are multiple answers, multiple models, and each model has its pros and cons, definitely. Correct. But I would say that cybersecurity, you cannot talk just the whole word like this. So if you're talking about security operations, this might come under technology and CIO, for example. But if you're talking about the governance, so what I'm thinking about the CISO role and what they're mainly doing is kind of a governance job. And the governance cannot be under operating models on this.
Can we give it to the internal audit?
Sorry?
Can we give it to internal audit instead?
No. It should be the same level of the internal audit. So it's a governance because we're providing the governance for the organization. Operations, yes, it might go under. Again, there are different models, different discussions. This is the eternal debate across everywhere. Each one is.
It's a gray area.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Anyone has an input on this point? Or any closing remark, question? Everybody is hungry for the dinner. Or actually today is Thursday. Everybody want to run. All right, thank you very much. I would like to thank you, gentlemen, for your time today and the valuable input you had it. And my sincere apologies if I took longer than expected, but I tried to close it within the time frame. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. My pleasure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.